Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Owen Talks Drum Corps. Today, we have our first interview of the podcast. I just want to let you guys know that I am super happy to have this guest with us today. I just want to remind you guys also to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can see the interview on camera. And on Spotify, it's actually being uploaded as a video now. So either of those two platforms work perfectly for your viewing. Remember to subscribe on YouTube. That is Owen Does Band Things. Follow the podcast on Spotify. That is Owen Talks Drum Corps. And follow the Instagram. That is also at Owen Talks Drum Corps. Alrighty, guys. Our guest today is a professional euphonium player. He is a current member of the Texas Christian University Tuba and Euphonium Studio in Fort Worth, Texas. He is also currently on the path to become a music educator. He has marched with the Blue Devils Drum and Bugle Corps for 2 years, marching in 2022's production Tempest Blue, and in 2023's production The Cutouts as lead baritone. He is also marching with the Pride of TCU Horned Frog Marching Band and is a proud alumni to the Hebron High School Marching Band. Please welcome Drew Pesina.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me. It's an
Of
honor. I'm glad to be
course.
one of your first guests. I love what you're doing here. It's really cool. It's cool for the activity. And it's cool for people that kind of just want to know more about drum corps. It's awesome.
Of course, man. And I think you're one of my top picks to come on the podcast first because I feel like you've done it all. You've won not once but twice. So you definitely know what you're talking about. Definitely know what you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Didn't come easy. Took a lot of work, but I'm very fortunate to have gotten these opportunities. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Alrighty, well, how's your summer been? Have you kept busy? Any fun adventures this summer?
I've been very busy this summer. I've done a little bit of traveling before band camp and everything got going. I took a little trip to St. Louis with my family, saw a ball game out there. Went to a few other ball games here in Texas, checking out the Rangers and all that. But since I guess late July or late June into July, I've just been band practicing for auditions, doing band camp at LD Bell High School, just keeping myself in shape, just finding out how I'm gonna get my semester going. But I've kept pretty busy. I've worked a little bit, teaching lessons, working other jobs, and just living life. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
been
that's
very
the way to go. So you big into baseball?
huge baseball dude. I played baseball growing up, played it some in high school, but didn't follow through going to college. I was band all the way. It's got me here. I had two paths I could choose, and I chose the band route. But you
Yeah,
know,
that's nice. What's your favorite team?
the Rangers for sure. Texas
Oh,
Rangers all
there
the
we
way.
go. Yes, sir.
Hometown, home and grown. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Well, how's the experience for you going at TCU as of now?
Oh, it's going amazing. I've had a great last 3 years there. Very fun community. It's not a huge campus, so I feel like that's a plus. Rather than being on like a campus like a Texas or other big school, Oklahoma. Um, it's a small campus. It's easy to get around. It's easy to get to know communities of people. When you like make the effort, obviously. I've mainly been around just the music community, like orchestra, choir, band, theater, some. But it's a great community. It's easy to get to know people, easy to get to know your professors, advisors. Like everyone's always willing to do something for you, and it's pretty easy to make friends there. And just the overall music culture and the history there for excellence is great to be part of, and it's very fun. I've improved a lot as a player, as a person. I've loved it so far, and I'm going to my last year now before student teaching next fall. So I'm enjoying it so far.
Nice, nice. Ready for graduation?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's a year away, over a year away for me. I'm doing it 4.5 years, but I'm getting ready. Yeah, I'm ready to go to the next step.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. Well, looking towards graduation, what's one thing you're looking forward to this upcoming year?
This upcoming year, as I finish my degree and as I do more and more stuff, I'm getting more field work. I'm getting more hands-on experience in the classrooms, going to like elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, observing a lot and having the opportunity to run part of an ensemble with directors and kind of figure out like, okay, what are my styles? What can I learn from these other people, these people I look up to, the people I'm going to be working with eventually, and just kind of like getting my feet wet a little bit, and just I'm looking forward to getting that experience, interacting with people in my profession, and also just like learning like how can I convince young children, young teens, and all that to want to continue music, to enjoy music, and pass that information on. Um, I'm just here like I love it for the experience mainly. It's like a great experience. It's something I try not to take for granted because music is such a big part of people's lives. I think everybody needs music. Music education is a crucial part, I think, in public schools. And same with all the arts. I don't want to belittle the arts,
Yeah.
other arts, but the arts are so important for everybody in public schools, and I think sometimes it doesn't get enough attention. But yeah.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. I think that obviously, I think the main thing that gets the most attention in schools and college and everything is obviously the sports, which are very, very obviously popular and fun to watch. But as you were saying, I think music and arts and everything in general with all the arts and fine arts are just something that are not looked at as much as they probably should be. Obviously, it's a little biased because we're in the music stuff and whatnot, but like I think once someone finds something they like in the fine arts, they can really dig deep into that and find obviously friends and professions, jobs, and just more opportunities in life to go out there. So I think tying on with your motive that you were saying about like helping teens and kids joining this art, um, I I mean I really love that honestly. Like not only do you love the activity, but like you're doing it for our future children, our future generations, which is really, really cool to see from you, especially so, I mean, I'm young, but like you're also very young. So it's really
Mhm.
cool to see those motives coming out here because I think you and I know that like we can see it in the drum corps, but I think we could also see it in like high school marching bands where like numbers are going down of members joining, and it's something that hopefully in the future, instead of going down, we can see a uh, upgrade and seeing more numbers of just kids wanting to join the arts and finding just jobs and whatnot, experiences out in the real world um, and
Mhm.
whatnot. But yeah,
Yeah, I
speaking
agree. I
of
agree.
yeah, speaking about jobs. What does the future look like for you for jobs?
Oof. I'm very unsure right now. I mean, I graduate in a year, and from there I can look for jobs. I can look for a teaching gig somewhere. My ideal range right now is probably looking at a high school, hopefully. But at the same time, I might want to do some more schooling. I might go get another degree somewhere. Not sure where yet. Not sure exactly what concentration way I want to go. There's several ways I can go with either education or with music. And I'm kind of just weighing in my options. I have this next year to kind of figure it out and kind of just talk around and get some opinions. But it's very uncertain right now. I think for me, for my near future, and it's something I'm really thinking about right now. But you know, teaching could be one. More school could be another. I'm probably on the side of more school, but that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, dude, that's cool. Yeah, it's totally cool seeing I mean, I have a lot of band friends obviously, and it's like cool seeing all of y'all advance to bigger and better things in the future. Um, and just seeing where everyone lands in jobs and opportunities and internships and all that, teching jobs like you were saying, all those fun things. But
Mhm.
dude, it's really great to see you helping out those high schools with techs and whatnot. Because
Oh,
again,
yeah.
we go back to saying just helping out the future generations of musicians and teachers and whatnot. So that is very cool of you doing.
Yeah, it's very rewarding too. It's very rewarding experience to be able to impact kids in such a small way, just as a marching tech at schools and stuff. It's cool.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, again, talking about high school, as we know, you're an alumni to the very successful and superior Hebron High School Marching Band. A question that I have is how do you think that you were able to set a foundation Tua has now become a multiple time BOA gold medalist and a Texas State marching band champion band?
Hmm. That's a very good question, and setting the foundation is a bit heavy for just like my class. Like the years I was there, 17 through 21. It all had to do with the people before us. They were the ones setting the foundation from when the school very open and just going class to class to class. And it was just like a carry through of all that. We always just try to just see, okay, what can we do a little bit better and a little bit better. We just kept grinding and grinding until they got to that point there that they're at now, where they're just still trying to take those little baby steps. And it was very cool being part of that. Like we were my freshman year in 17. They came out 2 years from Grand Nats. They came second in state the year before, and they were really starting to find themselves and be really, really competitive in those circuits, UIL and BOA. So now it's just trying to find, okay, where's that next push within the band, within the students, to get us there. Because the staff, they would do everything they could do to just motivate us and teach us the right things and technique and prepare us for this. But it was all like they put it mostly on the students, even like when it comes to leadership and stuff, it was like we're driving the bus type thing. It's like, how are we going to establish our end goal? Are we going to agree on this? Are we going to work together? And yeah, there was guidance from the directors, and they would pull us in and talk to us, be like, okay, what are we all thinking right now? Try to steer us in the right direction, like subtly without really telling us. And I think they did a good job with that. And they made sure that like we were having fun. But we were also working very hard. You don't really know that you're in such a good program until really like after you're out of
Yeah.
it. Like sometimes like as a freshman and sophomore, I was kind of just like I never thought, or it never really came into my mind like, oh, we're always making finals. Like it was like always like kind of like a thing where I was like, yeah, we'll have two performances today. Like not everybody has that opportunity. So having that opportunity, well, looking back on it, I mean, I'm very grateful for it. It gave such a good experience. And I wish everyone could experience something like that, because it's just like people just feed off of each other's energy, where it's just like you have a chance at potentially winning something. So it's just like we have that drive, we have that hunger, and it's just like everyone finds, like I feel like it's easier to find that level of desire when you're like kind of already have that. But it's just
Mhm.
like thinking about like, okay, let me think about like 5 or 10 years ago when they didn't necessarily have that. Like how much desire did they have? Maybe they had more desire to kind of like get better. And that's, again, it kind of just starts from the students there. Um, I don't know. I kind of went on a tangent there, but it was definitely a cool experience, and it was nice to be able to set them up. And I know for my section, I was on leadership a lot, from my sophomore year to my senior year in the euphonium section, and I just wanted to try my best to like, how can I just get us like carrying along, like all having like the same goal, getting along, having good chemistry, and just like showing like I loved having fun in band. I still love having fun. I love having fun in life, and I think sometimes I could see people where it's just like they beat themselves up over little things like mistakes or whatever. And this is like a high schooler. It's just like it's not worth beating yourself for. Like we're here to have fun. It's band, um, and just working together with everybody. I mean, it was very cool. And I think we had the culture established for us before, and it was just keeping that culture going and going and keep building that. And that's how they get to where they are now, is just by an established culture, and everybody just passing that down and all agreeing on one thing.
Definitely. No, yeah, you brought up a good point. In that like you really don't know in what good of a program you are on, no matter what school you go to, because I believe that like no matter what placement you get, you are a good band.
Oh yeah.
Like you are literally like if you think about it in like a grandma's perspective, you are memorizing music, you are memorizing where to go on the field, you are memorizing how to move your body in different ways you haven't before. So no matter what placement you get, I believe that you are a good band because you are doing the thing no matter what.
Oh yeah.
Again, it goes to say that no matter what program you are on, um, I guess I kind of see this now as a senior or as a freshman now in college. Looking back at my high school years, it's like I didn't know I had it so good when I had it. And then I'm like, well, like this is what I say to like the freshmen and the sophomores back when I was in leadership, just like continue the legacy, continuing like you were saying, getting what you had from your seniors as like when I was a freshman and just continuing that traditions and whatnot to succeed in UIL or BOA or any of that. Because at the end of the day, no matter what placement you are on, like I said, you're a good band. You know what you're doing, and it's just pretty cool to do the thing and actually doing it.
Yeah, and number one for me is just having fun.
Mhm.
Have fun in any program. Like again, you said no matter what the placement is, and I agree with that. No matter what your placement is, first to 12th, like have fun, have the time of your life. You know, if you can put an 8-minute program on the field, you're doing something right. If you're putting 5 minutes on the field, you're doing something right as a program. And it's just about like having fun as a kid. You're young, enjoy it, and just have a ball.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding. I mean, it's like to how I describe to my parents drum corps, I just say like professional marching bands, right? And
Yeah.
if you think about it, if in drum corps land, I don't think, I mean, obviously like results matter, like if you're like top three or whatever, but like at the end of the day, y'all are all on tour. You are all like hanging out with friends, making memories, making music, making a show that you're gonna look at back and be like, I did that, you know? So at the end
Mhm.
of the day, again, it's all about having fun. So it's all cool.
Yeah.
I
And
have
there's that
a
competitive. Sorry, I was just gonna say there's
you're
that
good, you're good.
competitive factor. Of course, there's competitive, and like people are
Yeah,
competitive and they want to do this and that. But yeah, it's a big community, and they're here to have fun. Mainly, we all get along very well.
definitely, definitely. So during your time at Hebron, what is one experience or font memory that you look at back and are like, that was real fun?
Ooh, probably. Ooh, there's a lot, but I would say probably Grand Nationals
Oh yeah.
in 19. That was a great experience, just having that like first long bus drive of my life going all the way up to Indianapolis, performing in a stadium like that and just being around like a whole different community of bands. I mean, this is my junior year in high school, so I was used to just competing against like Flower Mound Marcus, Waxahachie, all these local Texas DFW bands. So now going up north, seeing like Avon, Carmel, Union, all these schools, and it was like cool just interacting with the kids or other students, rehearsing in a new environment and just like experiencing something new is a whole new competitive feeling where it was like, oh, we're here for like just a little bit bigger of a title, uh, and just being it was kind of like I wouldn't say necessarily vacation, but it kind of felt like it sometimes as a kid. It was just like, oh, this is fun. I'm not in Texas right now. Like I'm somewhere else, and it was fun. A lot of good memories were made there. It was very cool. Like we had 6 Texas bands go that year, and it was a very big like Team Texas thing. So it was cool seeing that camaraderie with everybody, and like people had parents had Team Texas shirts. They were always very supportive of every Texas band. It was very cool to see that. But it was a great experience. I love Grand Nationals. It was very cool.
Nice. Dude, it always I guess it doesn't surprise you, but it's always cool to see. Um for like me during high school, obviously like a lot of the competition, like at least for me, it was a lot of local competitions and UIL. But when we did go to BOAs, it's like, oh look, there's an Oklahoma band. Oh look, there's an Arizona band. It's like you forget that it's not just like locked into your state and locked into like just here and
Hmm.
in DFW. At least for me, right? But like it's just like there's people doing this in California. There's people doing this in Arizona. There's people everywhere doing this art. Um, and I've always thought about this. It's like as a band kid, like you always connect no matter where you're from, no matter what competitions you've been to, no matter what placements again, no matter what instrument. You can all relate to this because we all know that you were like you're out there marching all the summer with the heat and making memories and whatnot. So it's always been a pretty cool thing to me seeing how like no matter like where you're from, if you do music, you are gonna find friends, you're gonna find relationships and opportunities.
Yeah, it's a very relatable experience for everybody.
Yeah, no kidding. Alrighty, and my last question here for your time at Hebron, is there anyone you would like to shout out or anyone that inspired you during your time at Hebron?
I would just say almost all my educators, or honestly, every educator I had there, whether it be private lesson teacher, middle school, high school, all of them, like Mr. Seeley, Mr. Pruitt, and going all the way back to my middle school directors, Mr. Chilton, Miss Yanello, Miss Pittman, um, all of them, even my like lesson teachers. There's a lot of them. But shout out, like, yeah, to all of them for giving me such a good experience and providing me with such a solid foundation on music literacy, musicianship, and getting kind of pushing me to where I am today. I wouldn't be at TCU playing euphony if it wasn't for them and continuing to push me and drive me and also, celebrate my successes with me and also give me a group of people around me that also wanted the same thing. Like it was just a total just camaraderie of just like we all want success. We all fed off of each other's drive to just want to be successful and have that next level type thing. It was like just something you could feed off of in the band, like whether it be in my section, we're just talking and trying to get better, or whatever it be. But my educators, I feel like they did an amazing job getting me to where I am today.
Nice. No, that's
Shout out
always
them.
yeah, it's always great seeing um just band teachers, or directors, conductors, um, even our leadership teams of student led, that it's not easy. And I know that you know this and I know this. But serving as a leader in such a ginormous group of human beings is not an easy thing. And just props to all the teachers. Shout out to all the teachers. Just in general, even just like in any subject, just shout out to all the teachers,
Oh
pushing the
yeah.
students to their max, finding their paths in life, careers, jobs. Again, anything that the teachers do is greatly appreciated. So it's great to see that you have done so much of that already, especially so young. As as we know, it's just a lot, and it's a great thing to see.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna move on a little bit to your time at TCU with the TCU Horned Frog Marching Band. How has that been, and what are some experiences you have experienced?
Yeah, it's a great time. It's fun. It's college marching band. It's nothing like drum corps. It's nothing like high school marching band. It's a lot of just have fun. Have fun. You're there to have fun. You're there to be with friends, and just enjoy the moment. Enjoy every moment of it. Um, it's great. It's not a huge band at TCU. It's just around 200. Still, it's small relatively for a college band. Um, but yeah, it's fun. We put on a little show every year. It's something different. But we do something different from every other college band is like a lot of college bands will have like one show a month. They'll put on like a nice little showy thing for fans and interaction. What we try to do, we kind of cater our program towards like recruitment style, like for high
Mm,
school. So we put on like a high school-esque show where it has like high school like core style drill, core style music, but also a range for like fun, like different range. Like we did a Macklemore show my freshman year. We've done like Foo Fighters, Metallica, and just like playing recognizable music, but in more of like a core style way where it appeals to like the high schoolers that are like, oh, that's really cool. I kind of want to like still do shows like that or be part of. Like it sounds cool, so I kind of want to do that. We're still doing things that uh, high schoolers from our area are appeased to. Like we go do exhibition performances at like BOA, UIL mainly, regionals or area competitions. Um, so it's different than what you would experience at like a normal, I guess, normal college marching band where you're putting on like a show style for the fans. We kind of just do it for recruitment style. But it's a good time, like traveling with the band, going to like places like Baylor, Houston, road games. Those are always probably the highlight of the years because you're going somewhere else. Probably the highlight so far has been doing all the playoff stuff in 22, going to the festival, national championship, getting all those experiences. Crazy experience to be part of. Just what a run that was. Just being a part of that in the band, seeing being able to go for free. Like I didn't have to pay a
That's
dime for a ticket.
insane. That's
I just
insane.
had to be there and play the fight song a billion times. But oh, it was an amazing experience, and you make a lot of good relationships, and then you have a good time. Yeah, it's a blast.
Nice. Yeah, I'm definitely I mean, I kind of mentioned this earlier, but I'm gonna be a freshman at UNT. And yeah, just looking at because I did my audition and whatnot. And when I was signing up for a band, it was like 400 members, and I was like 400. I'm used to like less than like 200 or something.
Mhm.
So it's gonna be a blast. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Um, it's gonna be fun. I know it's gonna be a little bit of a different experience because obviously it's not like high school. It's not like high school band, but I am definitely looking forward to just having fun. Like you said, going to road games. That's gonna be I love traveling. I hate bus trips, but I love traveling.
Right.
Yeah. No, I actually I'm gonna time out on that. Road trips are good if you're with friends. If you're alone, it's boring. So bus drive we'll do those. It's
Yeah,
gonna be fun.
they're fun.
But yeah, definitely looking forward to those road games. Like you said, exhibitions at local comms at BOAs. Looking forward to that. One that I know I definitely will able to go is BOA Bedford this year. We're doing our exhibition there, so I'm gonna get to watch your
Oh,
alumni.
cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'll be around too. I'll be on the LD Bell staff
Oh
there.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. We'll have to meet up.
yeah.
Dude, so yeah, that's gonna be fun. Um, but yeah, our my next question for your time at TCU is do you have any goals um or any goals that you have already achieved during your time at TCU that you would like to share?
Yeah, becoming a better player was one of my goals, and I have become an immensely better player. Um, and also, becoming a better person. I know coming out of high school is like, okay, I know I'm going to this next chapter of my life. I want to continue to improve on myself and get these experiences. I think that comes naturally, as you develop. But I feel like I've become a better person. I've grown and learned a lot of things so far. So I feel like I haven't stayed flat all of these 3 years. I've taken some ups, some downs, and all of this. I've definitely gotten the experience I've wanted so far. Um, Goals wise, that's not really something I really think about a lot, and it's something I guess I could start considering. It's like, okay, let me start setting some goals that I kind of want to achieve. I kind of just take it like day by day, where I'm gonna just like, okay, let's see what happens, type thing, and without really like a goal in mind. But I know becoming a better player was one. And just sharpening my school skills, building relationships with professors, making new friends, doing stuff like that, and just continuing to reach out and just become, the best person I can be, the best educator, best musician, all the time.
Yeah, that's good. Those are good. Yeah, dude, I struggle. I cannot live day by day. I don't know why. I'm just a big like plan out your whole not your whole day, but like have an idea of what's going on. And
Mm-hmm.
like it's good, but also sometimes sucks because it's like, oh well, I wanted to do that, but I already booked myself over here. It's just crazy. But
Mm-hmm.
I like I said, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that college experience and seems like you're having a lot of fun, which is motivating me to have a lot of fun down at UNT. So yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah. Well, let's dive into your time in DCI with the Blue Devils. As I said in your introduction, you marched 22 and 23, both years winning DCI finals. Um, so how was that? How was all the experience? How was Blue Devils?
Oh, it was awesome. It was definitely it was something I never expected, to be a part of that quickly. BD was my first corps to audition for, and it was the only corps I auditioned for. And just getting in that year was very rewarding. And it was like, oh, wow, like, oh, I'm part of this, It was kind of just like all or nothing, all the marbles are in, and it led to such a great experience. Um, it was awesome. It was very cool to be part of something like a new activity, especially after COVID.
Oh yeah.
After COVID, a lot of corps were kind of just figuring themselves out again logistically, internally. Um, and that's a lot of what it was in 22. It was a lot of figuring out the like who are the Blue Devils again? Like, there are so many like things from the past, things like that we want to also do in the future. Like, what do we want to kind of like morph into? What do we kind of want to fuse together here? Because there's also like we're still the road ahead, but we don't want to just long on the past and all the history, But we still want to keep it. It's still part of the organization and something we cherish. Um, but it was a lot of just figuring ourselves out as a collective and just like finding that chemistry, getting things going because we didn't have a whole lot of vets in 22. A lot of people aged out, or they went their different ways after COVID, and they're like, okay, I don't know if I want to continue doing this, because people have lives. Um, but I think we had like 7 vets total, maybe 7 or 9 vets that year out of 160. So it was just like
Dang.
them trying to keep up and be like, bring back the like rehearsal regimen and like how this is kind of how it has been, and just like keeping like some of the like just culture and rebuilding that and morphing it into what it would become, different every year obviously. But there's a lot of just like, figuring it out, trial and error, while also putting a production on the field, and it was also a great time, great community of people. um Very different for me. It was life changing. It was something I've never been a part of. That intensity, that standard of excellence, and just being around all those educators and also just people. It was something I've never been around before. So it was an amazing experience and something I'll always cherish to have experienced that. And then obviously like winning that championship that year, again, something I never. I mean, I dreamed of it, but I wouldn't have imagined it come that fast. And just like first year, boom, championship, and it was just like so rewarding. It was just such a cool experience, just being able to be part of that group, and have all of our work work out for us, become successful, and get that first year. Yeah, it was awesome.
Nice. Dude, that's always been crazy to me how like when once you left Hebron, they won their state championship and then you joined Blue Devils and you still won
Mhm.
something big.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. So what's one core memory you have during your time at Blue Devils for 22?
22. This one's silly, but I lost my sunglasses in the ocean one day on a free day. I remember that because I had just gotten them. They had just gotten shipped out to me. We went on a free day for like laundry and stuff. I go in the water with my new sunglasses. Boom! Like, almost immediately, I get crashed by a wave. Th-
No.
Those go away. So that happened. But marching on the field, um, poor memory. Hmm. Definitely finishing that victory performance, and just like just finally like that last time you're ever playing something, and just that reward of just being like you're done, you got like the reward, and it's just such a relieving feeling on just being like yes, like you can celebrate now, like it's over, and just like being able to share that moment with everybody, share it with the crowd, share it with your people. um that's definitely a core memory I have. Like I can remember it in my head vividly. um and just the pure joy I felt then. It was just a great moment to share with others. Um, Definitely the core memory there. Yeah.
Oh, that's a sweet one. Um, I guess kind of different, but similar-ish with me. Like I know I have a core memory from high school time was that same thing, performing at state finals, and that I know like that last like performance is like, oh, here it's all of it. You get to rest after that, uh, and just it's like you said, rewarding. Um, and very rewarding was it for you winning that championship too.
Yeah.
So, but that's cool. How was it performing in Indy again after Grand Nats?
Oh, it was cool. I remember first walking in on prelims in 22. I was just like looking around. I was like, okay, like everything the same? Does it all look the same? What's changed? And just like we're kind of remembering back from 2019 what it looked like, and just kind of going back in and just being like, wow, like I remember being here. It looks a lot different now. You like the new banner, like that was the fun part for me. Like looking out in the backfield, seeing like
Ah,
Drum Corps International World Championships and seeing the logo and all that. I was like, wow, like this is real. I was like, this is cool. And just seeing it because like I've seen it on YouTube a billion times, but just seeing it in person, that was a cool thing to experience. But it was cool, like especially like the crowds are a little bit bigger for DCI finals. So performing in a crowd like that, oh, it was awesome. It was cool to be around that, and it was like, oh, that was so cool. And but yeah, compared to 19, it was a lot different experience because I was more under my feet, I was more experienced, doing a whole new thing there.
how loud was it?
Oh, it was pretty loud. I would say 23 crowds are probably louder than 22 crowds. Things were kind of just bumping up again, getting kick
Oh yeah,
started up
yeah.
again. Um, Plus, I think 23 had a little bit better bunch of shows for everybody around the activity. But I think the crowd liked our 23 show a lot better. or not a lot, but better than our 22 program. I remember bigger roars from the crowd in 23.
Really
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Some crowds louder than others. Like, it just varied on the venue and the night, but yeah, it
Yeah.
was so cool.
Dude, yeah, that's crazy. Coming back to your little thing you were saying with like the banner in the back and seeing like, yo, that's so like it's here.
Mhm.
Um, have you like did you ever attend any like championship before for drum corps before you joined the activity?
No, the only events for drum corps I've been was just like DCI Mesquite, DCI Denton, watching lots around my area. I never had been to DCI San Antonio. I'd never been to championships or anything. So this is my like first time like in that
Oh,
atmosphere.
nice. That's awesome. It's like
It was
flying
cool.
for the first time.
Right? Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, that's
It was
insane. Oh,
magical.
that's cool. That's really cool. For 23, the cutouts, like you were saying, you got bigger roars and whatnot. How was your time during tour for 23?
It was pretty different from my rookie year. I mean, rookie year, you're kind of figuring yourself out. It's very like individual focus. You like want to make sure you're doing the right things. You want to make sure like you're kind of just living up to the expectation type thing.
Fitting in and whatnot?
Yeah. Um, but after that, I kind of have established myself. I felt better individually, so I was like, okay, I want to make sure put diligent effort into meeting more people because I didn't meet everybody I could have met in 22. First drum corps experience ever, so I was like, figure myself out. But in 23, I had already like established friends, people coming back. I was glad to see, and I was just like, okay, I want to have more camaraderie. I want to have a more group experience and individual experience this year, and that's something I had a lot more of in 23. I had a great group of friends. Got to know the core. I felt very connected to the whole core that year. I feel like I've probably talked to everybody that year. So it was a lot different. And yet again, he had a more established veteran presence, so we were able to kind of keep building from that last year, but also to be like, okay, we're not going to stop here. We want that next level. Kind of what I was talking about in the beginning, where it's just like stepping stones of like continuing the greatness and all that. It was kind of like that. It's like we're not stopping there. That's not like that was last year. This is 23. So it was nice to kind of be part of that and just like show all the new members and guide all the new members, being like, "Hey, we're still growing. We're growing. We're going to keep pushing ourselves." And um, I felt like I got a lot closer with other people that year. It was awesome.
Good, good. Yeah, you were saying, the stepping stones like leading towards more and more expectations and whatnot. Winning that other championship, how or what were the speculations leading into finals with the core about winning back-to-back championships? Like,
Yeah. It was something we never like talked about too much, being like, "Oh, like we are gonna win this. Like we got this." Like we had the confidence to be like, "Okay, yes, we're the best group out there right now. It's us versus us type thing."
mhm.
And it's like that regardless, like beginning of the season to end of the season. Um, and it was not like we never compared numbers too often. Like sometimes it's easy to get caught up into that. It's drum corps is competitive, their scores and all that. Like we can read it and all we want, but we had a very diligent effort that year in 23 to don't look into that. Just have fun, perform for each other, perform for the crowds, entertain. So it wasn't nothing we were like, oh, we hope we can like not drop this or clutch up here and do all this. Is like, no, just perform. Just perform. Go in there, and if you perform your tails off, you'll get the rewards you want.
Mhm.
And that's exactly what we did. We went out there for those last 3 nights in Indy, performed our tails off, and we got that grand reward of winning another championship. And again, that's where we can celebrate. That's where we can be like, yes, like we done it back to back. We done back to back to back, if you want to say,
Yeah.
uh, three-peat and all that. But it's nothing like in the season you're too concerned about. Like what's on the line, but it's nothing you're just bringing it up every day. It's just like you'll get that when you work for it and you get the result. You have to work for it. It's yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely. And it's I think we might have mentioned this earlier or not. I don't remember, but it's like again, just like how like in drum corps compared to high school, like I know like there's a lot of high schoolers that like to compare their results to last year's competition or against this band or this band. And like you were saying, at the end of the day, you're just entertaining the crowd, especially in drum corps. Like people are paying money to watch you. Like it's not that you have to, but like it's almost like you kind of have to on like just entertaining, like give their money's worth, you know? Like obviously
Mhm.
like not anyone goes to a drum corps show. Like they probably know what it is or kind of have a hint or so of what the actual thing is, but like at the end of the day, they are paying to watch you and they want a good show and entertain.
Mhm. And sometimes people have no idea what drum corps is. Sometimes people just go. Sometimes it's their
Hmm.
first show and it might be their last show. So if that's going to
Yeah.
be what it is for them, give it your best that night, you know?
Yeah.
Like even like I guess just for high school performers, for any performer out there, you know, in any sphere, it could be the first and last time somebody sees you. So like give it your best, be that version of you that you want to put out there, you know? That's kind of how I took it as an individual performer. And I just wanted to like give it my best every night because like, you know, why not?
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. Well, talking about you like you said, like it's some people's first show. What was your first show that got you into drum corps?
DCI Dallas 2017. Great year, drum corps. And I had no idea what I was like. My sister was like, "Hey, like let's go to this event." I was like, "Okay." I was a eighth going into my eighth grade year of middle school. So I was like, "Okay, like I'm still kind of getting my learning euphonium. I
Yeah.
don't know what this instrument is yet, and then all this." And I went with my sister and another friend, and I was blown away. You know, I was like, "Whoa, this is cool! Like, this is marching band. Like, I'm gonna be part of this. Like next year, you know, it's gonna be a different, you know, whole nother scale." But I was like, "Wow, this is cool." You know, seeing like Crossmen, Boston Crusaders, Crown, Blue Devils, Blue Coats, all those corps that night. Like, I had awful seats. I was like second row, like 20-yard line. You know, so I was just like always looking over, like what's going on over there on the other side of the field. But just you could still see it. You could feel the energy, see these shows, and see how everything went. So it was really cool. And then after that, I was just always looking up drum corps. I was like watching videos, looking at shows, watching shows, trying to find out when can I do this, watch this again, and then figuring out when am I gonna march. I was like always telling my parents like, can I march this day? It was like 2018, 2019, like in sophomore and junior in high school. I was like, Mom, can I like go audition for a corps? And like I want to do like Crown, Blue Coats, all these corps. And I was like, she was like, no, you have so much time. Like she knew how much money it was. And she's like, no, just wait, just wait. I'm glad I waited. I'm glad
Yeah.
I waited on that. But I was just so ambitious just to like do it after
Aw.
that. I nerded out a lot on drum corps in high school, and I still do. So
Yeah, that's cool, dude. That's awesome. No, yeah, I my first show was DCI McKinney 22. Yes. 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 22, I think. Yeah. Um, one of my friends, you know him, Diego, he took me
Mhm.
out there and he was like, let's go to this thing. And I honestly was like, I don't know what this is. My only reason for going that night was because we were gonna see one of our alumni, Gabe Ayers. I don't know if you remember him. Uh,
Maybe.
he might have not marched when you teched with us. Might no, yeah, he definitely didn't. No, he graduated that previous year. But he
Oh,
was an
that's cool.
alumni and he was marching Santa Clara Vanguard. And I was like, let's just go see, let's just go support him and whatnot. And oh my God, I was blown away. It's way different than marching man. If anyone watching this podcast or listening, if you, I mean, this is me personally, and I'll let you speak on it too, but if you haven't ever gone to a DCI event in person, if you have the opportunity to, go. It is so much fun. It is different than marching band. It is just awesome. Even if you can't like if you can't afford the ticket to go in, even just watching lots is awesome. Uh, it's incredible the things they do. I don't know about you, but my first moment where I was like, "Yo, this is drum corps. This is cool," was it's like the first hit that you hear that is like loud and whatnot. For me, there was two moments. It was Crown's ballot that year, and Phantom's trumpet feature that got me. I remember I watched Phantom and Lots and their trumpet section, and I was like, oh my goodness, what is this? This is awesome. And once we went in, watched them perform, I was like, this is dope. And then watch Crown and just Crown doing godly things. I was like, I need to get into this. And ever since,
Oh yeah, it's life changing. It moves you as a person. It moves you sometimes emotionally. My first moment wasn't necessarily after that first show I went to because I was like, oh, like that's really cool. Okay, I was still eighth grade kid, But then I started watching videos on YouTube. My first one was one of the like it was like one of the OG like Crown drops the hammer videos that first like surfaced on the internet. I forget what show it was, but it was just a video, and like, just hearing that you have such high quality audio and just listen. I used to listen on repeat and repeat. And I was like, this is cool. Like I want to sound like that. I want to be in a program or organization that sounds like that. And that just led me going down the rabbit hole of just watching more and more videos, finding other cores and shows. And then finally in 18, when I went to DCI Mesquite that year, I was very adamant about I want to wake up early in the morning. I'm going to rehearsals. I'm watching Crown. I'm going to go watch Vanguard, Cavaliers. They were all in the area. So I was like, I'm going to all these rehearsals and watching them. And that's exactly what I did. I watched Crown rehearse. I watched Vanguard rehearse that year. And watching Vanguard rehearse in 18, that show was awesome. So that just drove me even more. I was like, I'm hooked on this activity. I had friends um, marching that year. So I was like, okay, this is definitely something I want to be a part of.
No, yeah, dude. It's an awesome thing to bring, like you said and I said, just bringing, I think that's one of the biggest thing that attracts people is just like take a friend, bring a friend if you know about the activity and they don't. That's what I did this year with DCI Denton. I brought a bunch of friends that they've heard about it. They know that a couple of our alumni march and whatnot, but they've never been in person. I was like, you've watched the videos, we've done the DCI watch parties in high school, like go to the event. It is a different thing watching them in lots, watching them perform, watching them set up. All the things are just it's just incredible. It's truly a blessing in disguise of such a godly thing.
100%. Yeah. It's life changing. Just experience in person versus online. There's nothing like it in person. It's such a raw experience, and you just feel that power in your body of the horn line, drum line, and all that.
No, definitely. And rehearsals, like you were saying, going to rehearsals, oh my God, it's insane. I went to the Blue Devils rehearsal this past month-ish,
Mhm.
when they rehearsed down there in Dallas, and oh my God, it's just like it's well, one, it's like me for me, it's one, it's weird because I had never been to like a the drum corps rehearsal. So I was like, this is different. This is different than high school marching band rehearsal. And then just seeing them perform like so close and it's just like the culture and the vibes and just everything. It's just so good. It's so cool to be a part of and
Oh,
whatnot.
yeah.
Definitely. Well, going back to our little detour there, but going back to your time at Blue Devils, I think you answered this earlier, but I'm gonna ask it just to make sure. What year did you enjoy more?
Ooh. Probably 23 because I had more individual, like myself established. I was more comfortable in my own shoes. And I had just that group of people that, I got through the summer with. Um, and it was just such an enjoyable year. I liked the music a little bit better. It was more fun to perform. We had more character in that show. Um, and just overall, just a lot better. I don't know. I guess I would say a lot better experience than 22 because 22 was just such an experimental year. The drum corps was just getting back, so it was like just figure it out, form a great show, but we're still figuring ourselves out. 23 was like, okay, we have ourselves more figured out. Let's have more fun.
Yeah.
So 23, I enjoyed more.
Okay, good to know. That's I mean that's it makes sense because your first year obviously you're figuring things out. You don't know everybody yet. It's a different experience than high school um, and college. So it's definitely makes sense.
Mhm.
Alrighty, well, um, I had a question this whole season, this whole 2024 season. I was like, why is Drew not performing this season?
Oh yeah. Well, a lot of it had to do with just the money and where I was at the beginning of the season, and going into the season, I was like, okay, it's gonna be kind of hard. I tried to do some fundraising. I didn't put the most effort in because I was kind of on the wall about it. I was like, okay, I'm really enjoying what I'm doing here locally, teaching lessons, performing, and just bettering my classical musicianship. And I also was like, okay, I've done this for 2 years. I have a couple years left. Um, I can take a year off. I can save money, keep the bank a little bit happier, and just enjoy summer at home while I'm in college. Because if I was doing drum corps for 4 years straight, I would not have a college summer. I want to experience at least one summer at home with my college friends, and just explore another realm of my life that's not drum corps. Because that's what has my life has been those last 2 years in college, just drum corps, drum corps, drum corps, year round almost. But now, yeah, getting to experience the summer here at home, getting to work a summer band with the program, um, as a visual tech and music, just getting a whole new set of experiences. As something that I don't regret at all, and it's something I wanted this year. But I think I definitely will be making a return next year for my age out, with the Blue Devils. So I just, yeah, took the year off more for myself than anything.
Nice. Well, that's I mean, I think I've discussed this on the podcast before, but I think the financial part of drum corps is a very complicated discussion, but it's also something that I think not a lot of people talk about, but maybe should. It's like I get it. All these programs, like I mean, obviously they need the money, like just to run the program, pay the show production team, tour, like the buses, food, uniforms, and just anything they do, right? But I've always thought about it, I'm like, how does it not become any less expensive year by year, but it becomes more expensive every year? And it's an unfortunate thing because I know there's a lot of people that have to end up, like you were saying, have to take a year off, maybe because they choose to, or maybe because they don't. But just end up like having to take a year off because of just not being able to financially pay for the tour fees and whatnot. And some of them, I mean, it's a lot of money to go on tour and whatnot. It's obviously an experience, but it's a lot of money. Um, but it's just kind of crazy to me, like how much money it actually is and all that.
Hmm. And in reality, it kind of it justifies itself. I mean, you're gone for 3 months, you're traveling the country. So I think it's a justified expense because yeah, it is
Hmm.
very expensive to do the activity, but it's just like the tuition money that goes through the core from all 160 members.
It
There's
was
more
so
expenses on top of that. Just those 160 members paying tuition does not cover a full season of drum corps. That's not what purely gets the core on the road that summer. There's so much more that the organization does and has to fund for themselves, to make a drum corps run. And I think the reason it's getting more expensive, like, yeah, we have inflation, but also DCI is taking more precautions to keep the members safe, to keep them in good housing sites, and making sure they're having the most optimal experience, like the whole activity, like all activity wide. Um, so taking those extra precautions, it's going to add another penny or two to the costs. So I think it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. But it's just like if you wanted it to be not as expensive, you might have less safe of an experience. And I think they're trying to do their best to give the most safe and fun experience they can for everybody.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. It's kind of like you were saying, it's like you pay for, like I've always said this with anything, even like you pay for it and you're getting your money's worth. Like it's expensive, but you know that you're going on tour, you're getting teachers and professionals and obviously like just a production that is over the world with the drill writers, the music arrangers and whatnot, just anything in general. Like it all costs money, obviously. So it, like you said, it justifies itself and it makes sense why it's so expensive.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I wanted to ask, as someone who has marched 2 years with the Blue Devils, and you say you're taking a year off, planning to go and march next year. Are you planning on marching or trying out for a different position, or what's your plan with that?
To be determined. I don't really know what opportunities might be open regarding other positions. Maybe like would I be interested in, connecting? Maybe. I know that horn line spot is most likely, something that's going to be there for me, but it's kind of like what's going to be open, what is going to be needed out of the core then. Um, and just kind of like, yeah, what does the staff need? What do I kind of want to do? Figuring that out. I'm fine with being a performer, but if other duties call my name, other duties call my name. But who knows what's gonna happen? That's still up in the air, and it's just like I still gotta, commit to going back next year. So we'll see.
Yeah. That's yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So just figuring it out year by year.
Mhm. Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, you have marched already and you are planning a march. Are there any inside secrets or tips on getting into the core you want for those trying out next year?
Prepare the material that's given to you. Number one, be prepared on the material, visually, musically, even financially. Have a budget, and know what's being asked of you there. But yeah, prepare that material. Come prepared. Don't give half effort to it and just be like, I'm gonna go just to go. If you're gonna go with the intentions of making it. I would say give it your all. Ask questions to the staff. Ask questions to members. Use your resources. Number one. Um, More from the visual side. Get to know what your body needs. Start stretching. Doing little baby workouts. It doesn't have to be anything extreme. You don't have to become super strong. But just doing some push-ups, doing like planks, and just getting the body moving a little bit before going to a camp or starting a season. Just acclimate yourself to like another level of effort to prepare yourself, and just find different ways to like get your body moving, get it feeling good, take care of it. Um, but I think number one, use your resources, whether it be staff, members, internet, and ask questions to people that have marched. It won't hurt to reach out to somebody, even if you don't know them. Like if I got DMs from some of your viewers, it's like, hey, I have this question regarding Blue Devils camp here, or like another camp for another core. What do you recommend me doing? I'd be way open to like opening that, like, or answering that. It's what I'm here for. As like an experienced person. Not everyone's gonna answer, but someone like me, like I am open to answering those type of questions. So if anyone listening, uh, you can reach out to me on Instagram and all that stuff. You can put that in the notes or something.
Yeah, do that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, I mean, obviously, I think most drum corps members are pretty open about helping the rookies and the people who want to join. I know
Hmm.
I went to a Crossman camp this year, and all of their members were just phenomenal, just welcoming. I would say, like, for anyone even considering going to a drum corps, just go to a camp. Um, if you know that you want to march, obviously, like Drew said, prepare the material and whatnot. But um, if you are scared or timid, that you don't know anyone, just go to the camp. They are all very welcoming. The staff is very welcoming. The members are very welcoming. I would say I would definitely recommend just going to any local camp, because obviously some might be further than others. But if any drum corps is local to you, I would definitely recommend, even if you're just thinking about it.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's a great experience just to get your foot in the door and kind of just like, is this something I'm going to vibe with? Is this my vibe? Is this organization my vibe? Is this activity my vibe, more importantly? And just figuring that out for yourself. Yeah.
No, that's definitely correct with the like I mean I bet that every organization has their own vibe. I've heard that from different members. I know someone
Mhm.
from Troopers said that they had a whole different experience with the Troopers camp than what they had at Blue Stars. And it's things like that where like it could interchange with every core and whatnot. Um, so like Drew said, again, just check out the camps. They're pretty cool and whatnot.
Mhm.
But yeah, alrighty. Well, what are three things that you would like to say to anyone looking to join the drum corps world?
Mhm. Well, number one is budget early. Budget early, figure out your finances, know either how much it costed the year after or coming up if you have if that information is available. I would more likely than not put around, $4,500, kind of start preparing. That's kind of like minimum budget for a lot of cores, right there. Um, don't get discouraged. Number two, don't get discouraged if you don't make the core you want to make your first time around. You know, it's a hard activity, it's competitive. There's people like, competing for spots. Don't let that discourage you. Just know that you're putting in the effort, you're trying, and be a sponge at those camps and take in all that information, see what you can do better, and just keep trying and get to that goal that you want. And again, use your resources there to your advantage so you can have those chances of making the course. Number three, let's see. I would just have fun, camp, video audition, going to a show, or just finally making that court and going out first time, or just have fun. Have the time of your life. You're a young, growing adult, young adult, whatever. Live your life. Don't. It's not band like a professional doing this, and I have to be all serious about it. No, you're still a kid at heart. Have fun, get to know people, make it a great experience for you. And just take care of yourself doing that while having fun. Because that's what doing the arts is all about in any fashion, is just having fun. It's what life is about. Um, just cherish those moments. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that advice. I know a lot of the viewers looking to join the drum corps world are going to appreciate that. I know I appreciate that a lot, actually, looking into next year and wanting to audition and whatnot. So that'll be really fun.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, as we know, this upcoming weekend, we have DCI finals coming up for the 2024 season. I've already done my sheer tier of whatnot predictions, well, early season predictions, but I want to know from you, what do you think are going to happen? Who do you think are taking a couple of these captions, caption here, caption there, placements? What are your predictions?
Okay. We talking top 12, or are we just talking like the top five, or what are we talking here?
Honestly, whatever you like. I know top 12 might be a lot if you want to do top five or top
Yeah.
10 or whichever one.
I'll keep it up at the top just so I don't have to like throw so many names and like accidentally like miss somebody or something. But um let's see. I mean, right now, I mean, the Blue Coat's design is just, right now it seems unstoppable. It's a great show. It's very entertaining. I've seen it live. It's a great production. They have all the bells and whistles to win it. I'm sure they're more than likely to take the gold this year. I think that they deserve it. They've been working really hard, and they've just always been pushing. Like, they always revolutionize or revolution. Is that the right revolutionize? Yeah, the activity in
Love
different
that.
ways. So I think they're doing great things. They'll probably take the gold there. Second and third, I feel like that can kind of be a toss up. Maybe we'll see how prelims goes and see how the scores bump from there. I know there was a little bit of like a score gap from last night's Canton show um, between Boston and BD, but I feel like both cores are working hard, and anything can happen there. So I feel like toss between second and third. It could be BD, it could be Boston. As a BD person myself, I'll say BD takes second. BD takes second. Boston takes third. Um, Fourth place, I feel like this will be interesting because you have Phantom just rocking it out, but you have Crown being really consistent and doing great things there. Um, I haven't seen both like their shows as much as I have, BD and some Blue Coat. I've mainly just been keeping up with like the top, um, mainly just BD, but um, the scene what I have seen. I mean, that Phantom show is so entertaining. I'd love to see them make that jump at fourth, but I mean, again, that's how they're preparing for this finals week. That's how they're cleaning things up and kind of like those performances they have those next 3 nights in Indianapolis. Um, I'd love to see some that change there. Phantom in four, maybe that's hopeful. More than likely Crown in four, and then Phantom in five. And I don't really know what's going on too much beyond. I know there's Mandy's Vanguard. Where are the stars at right now?
Stars were, let's see here. I'll pull up
Because I
real
love
quick
their
for
show in San Antonio.
really,
Yeah.
dude. I watched it online. I didn't get to watch it in person. Um, but I also liked it. I didn't like, well, I like how they performed it. I didn't like the show concept personally.
The music was great. Yeah, I'm a big music
Blues
head, so it's like
makes sense. Blue Stars are in eighth below Mandy's and Vanguard and Mandy's.
Vanguard and Mandy's. So yeah, I feel like that'll stay pretty consistent. And then I'm pretty sure Troop are in the top 12 right now. They'll place well. Loved that show. It's very entertaining. Caption wise, I mean, Blue Coast will probably take GE. Their show is so effective. Musically, visually, guard, everything. They have all, like I said, the bells and whistles there. They'll probably do the GE percussion. I know there's been so much flip flop in that world. I know Boston was leading at one point. Vanguard's still up there. Blue Coats also have a solid line. Blue Devils have a solid drum line. I feel like it's probably gonna be between Coats and Boston. Probably, maybe Vanguard slips in. I know they haven't competed so much with the top three right now, but Vanguard might have a good run here this finals weekend. Um, Brass, I'd love to see to go to BD. BD's had great brass scores this year. They're playing really hard stuff like tonally and all this. Like I feel like they do stuff that no other cores do tonally, chord wise. They're putting in some good work there. If they can stay consistent, I think they can take brass. Um, Visual, that's kind of a toss up too because we have those top three cores, BD, Boston, and Glucose. They all have great visual packages. So it's whoever's going to be the most clean those 3 nights. Um, the way it's looking, it could be Blue Coats. You know, they've been very consistent across the board visually. So there's that guard. I want to say it goes to BD again. They take it back. They are doing some really hard stuff. I've seen a lot of that stuff up close. I don't know how people
Yeah.
can really compete with what they're doing. I know Boston has the hoops. They're doing hoops a lot of the time. That's hard. You know, you have to give that credit. But this is stuff I've seen BD do. I'm just like, wow. There's people doing. There's no way people are doing harder stuff than that. So I'd love to see them take guard again.
Yeah, when I watched the BD rehearsal down in Dallas, I was like, dude, how is this guard doing all this? Like it was insane. Like literally someone tossed a hula hoop and then just caught it. Like the next person just caught it like 10 or 5 yards away. I was like, what? And it was
Mhm.
like consistent too. Like they don't miss. I'm like,
Yeah, and that just goes for every core, like at that level, at that world class level. Like, like the whole drum corps activities, like people are always doing crazy stuff. You know, you'll find something crazy in every show, and people just keep pushing the limits and doing amazing things on the field. It's really cool to see.
no, yeah, pushing the limits is for sure. Every year, I think I mentioned it in this podcast before, but Blue Coats, like you were saying, just always just innovating the game and just changing every year. Like, and I think that's why a lot of people love them, but also a lot of people don't like them because they're like
Oh yeah,
they'll change year by year. One year we get a lot of this, one year we get a lot of that. I personally really like Blue Coats. Um, but like it like you said, it just changes. I see a lot of 2016 Blue Coats with this Blue Coats group this year. Obviously it just advancing, pushing the limits, visually, musically, everything in general.
yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah. Well, alrighty. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I can't wait to see what life brings to you, man. Great teacher, great friend. You've always been someone I look up to, doing great things. So I just wanted to wish you the best in the near future and whatnot.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate all those kind words. I appreciate you having me on this podcast. I wish you the
Yes.
most success on this. It's very cool again what you're doing here. I hope it takes off, sooner than
Thank
later.
you.
So, yeah, man, good stuff. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Well, alrighty, everybody. If you enjoy this podcast, remember to like this video, subscribe to Owen Does Band Things, as we will be getting more interviews this coming week with the DCI 2024 season wrapping up. We're also going to get members who are currently on tour. We're going to get those people to come in, get their thoughts on their season, on their tour, and whatnot. Getting some reactions towards the end of the month, maybe, with people just coming in and reacting to the finals results, final shows, and whatnot, bringing in more of those people. And obviously, if you have any recommendations of anyone you would like to see me interview, drop them down in the comments down below. I am open to getting as many opinions and thoughts with the drum corps world. So if you have any of those, make sure to leave them down in the comment section below. Also, if you enjoyed this podcast, or if you didn't for some reason, leave your suggestions down in the comments down below. I always look at those comments, no matter what. I appreciate the support again, the advice, all of those things. So, as we wrap up here, remember to follow the Instagram. That is Owen Talks Drumcore. Follow on Spotify, that is Owen Talks Drum Corps, and subscribe on YouTube, that is Owen Does Band Things. Drew, do you have your socials that you would like to plug if you would like to people can reach out and ask any questions if they have?
Yeah, YouTube is kind of where I have some videos up there. I've head cams and all that. It's my name, Drew Pesina. Uh, you can look that up. You can find my head cams. Leave comments on there. Um, Socials, I'm pretty private on all those, so you can still reach out and message me. It's Pesina.Drew on Instagram. Send me a DM if you have any questions regarding drum corps. I'll try to answer those the best I can. You could also, if you want, shoot me an email, drew.pesina@gmail.com. If you have any questions, I'll try my best to answer those for y'all.
Awesome. Again, thank you so much for that. Not anyone would do that, so I really appreciate it. You guys go check him out on YouTube. His headcams are insane. He has that BD finals run through, I know. Those were awesome. So definitely go check this out. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.